Hello everyone, Britton here, and welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be doing another book review, and today in the book I'm going to be reviewing is Roadside Picnic by the Strugatsky brothers. This is a science fiction novel from 1972. It is also the inspiration for Andrei Tarkovsky's excellent film, Stalker, which I recommend if you didn't gather from me saying it's a great film already. But I do like the book as well. I didn't know that Stalker was based on a book. Well, I actually discovered I had heard about the movie first, then I heard about this, and then I heard about the games. I haven't played the games, and I don't know if I want to. Well, maybe I'll try the games someday. But it's not something I plan on doing anytime soon. You know, there's a quality of a roadside picnic that feels haunted, if that makes any sense at all. You can especially sense that because this book was written more than a decade before the infamous Chernobyl disaster happened and basically made a part of Russia into a real-life version of the zone. One would almost think that this book was written as a response to that, but no, this was written in 1972, and I think Chernobyl happened in 86, so 14 years? But yeah, this book definitely has a quality of, feeling haunted by its setting. This has been inspirational for a lot of science fiction stuff. Stalker, for one. Annihilation by Jeff Vandermeer. I would be very surprised if he said that this book, or at least the movie, didn't inspire him when he was doing the Southern Reach trilogy. And if you like the Southern Reach trilogy, I would recommend this book, because this book is actually pretty good for the most part. Though I will say it is one of those rare occasions where I actually like the film version of this more than I do the book. I know, it's weird. But allow me to... I'll get to that a little later on in the video. Roadside Picnic does have its charms, though. I really like the world in this book. It's very bleak and depressing and, you know, just as you would expect a dystopian post-apocalyptic book of this type to be. And I really like how this book explores how people would react to an extraterrestrial, what would you call it, presence coming to Earth. I find it fascinating. The movie is more about the desire of the people who go into the zone and what would inspire someone to take a dangerous trip into the zone, into the unknown, if you will. This book kind of skirts that a little bit, but it doesn't really go into that much detail on that. It does explore how people would react to something odd just happening, like an alien visit. And basically, as it goes, there was an alien visit in this. They're not entirely sure what kind of extraterrestrial presence it was, but it did, and it left it left some stuff, I think called boxes, and they are left in this place called the zone, and that's when people go. There are people who go into the zone. They are called stalkers, and they basically get stuff and sell it on the black market for money. One of the main characters of the book is a stalker, is one of the people who goes into the zone in order to do that. The world in this book does feel plausible, though it feels a lot like Soviet Russia, even though it wasn't really intended to be Soviet Russia. It was apparently supposed to be a capitalist Western nation, just like anyone else. But, no, it feels like Russia. I guess you can take the Russian out of Russia, but you can't take the Russia out of Russian, I suppose. It's like what Snoop Dogg said. Anyway, I enjoyed this book. The book did start out a little rough. The prose is a little rambly. It's not difficult to read, but it can be kind of, you know. It does its job, you know. It doesn't completely break the book, but it does pick up as the book moves along, which is nice, and I appreciate that. Because if I had just read it in the Russian guy's voice, that just would have been annoying the entire time. But I enjoyed the characters. Surprisingly, the Strugatskys make the characters engaging and sympathetic, even though Um, they're not really the most likable. I mean, they do say "screw you" as much as a Mike Mignola comic would, and they smoke enough cigarettes that would probably give a horse emphysema. I swear, it's ridiculous. But they are charming, I guess you could say. They do have their moments where you feel sorry for them and understand where they're coming from. Especially Red with his little daughter, which he calls his little monkey. My main issue with this book, though, is... main problem that I really have with this book is that too many explanations. There's too many explanations, too many theories, too many moments where people try to figure out, contemplate our navels, if you want to say, about what the zone is and why these aliens came to Earth and all this other stuff, and it can be a bit hard to read. Unlike, that's something I like about Stalker, the movie, which is the movie doesn't really go into that. It's more of going into the zone and what that desire reveals about the human condition, which I like more. Again, I'm going to try and keep the movie talk till the end of the video. I really do wish that the Strugatskys let the world and the zone speak for itself. I mean, Jeff Vandermeer did that with the Southern Reach trilogy. I mean, I don't think it would be difficult for the Strugatskys to do it, even though they wrote this book years before Jeff Vandermeer ever came up with the idea of the Southern Reach. But alas, this is the world we live in. But again, this book isn't too bad. It's a solid book. I enjoyed it. There is a level of Lovecraftian horror in this story, particularly with the idea that these aliens may have not really wanted anything. They may have just thought so little of us that they had just come to Earth to just have a vacation. A roadside picnic, if you will, to draw back to the title of the book. But yeah, this book is really enjoyable for the most part. It's a book that takes some getting used to. It's not the best book I have ever read. This would not be in my top 25 sci-fi. I'll put it that way. But it is enjoyable. It is a solid book, and I don't regret reading it. I do recommend getting this version because the translation's pretty good for the most part. There's an introduction from Ursula K. Le Guin that's pretty good. We got an afterword from the Strugatskys at the back. It also, just looks nice as a cover. It's from the movie. I really liked it. I thought, I think this version of the book is really nice. I'm very glad that they managed to retranslate it for a new audience. And the story they tell is actually it's still a good book. I think it's enjoyable. If you're a sci-fi fan, I think you'll enjoy this book quite a bit. Now we're going to get into the big puppy of this episode, the shadow that has loomed over this book, and that is Stalker, the film from Andrei Tarkovsky. Now, I won't talk about it too much because, in all honesty, I think that this movie requires an entirely different video to talk about because Stalker is just another entity on its own. But like I said earlier, this book is one of those rare instances where I actually like the movie more. I like where the movie took the direction of this world and of this story. That it's not really about the world of the characters. It's more about the going into the zone itself and what it means about human nature. I think that's really, really fascinating. And despite the movie being very long and ponderous, if you let yourself get drawn in, it is a truly mesmerizing experience. And this book captured that a little bit, but again, I just think it was handled better in the movie. I don't know really what else to say. It's just it's a fascinating, slow, contemplative movie that you really have to give yourself into. You can't just put it on while, chilling out with your friends. It's one you have to give yourself to. But yeah, not to say Roadside Picnic is bad. There's good stuff in it. There's some good political satire as well, because, this was written in a time during the Soviet Union, and Soviet Union wasn't very kind to people who were artistically inclined, let's say. And the Strugatsky's actually mentioned in this book, and Ursula K. Le Guin actually talks about some of the struggles that they went through when writing this. And even Tarkovsky himself, when he was doing Stalker, he even was... even he struggled with a lot of Russian censors at the time. So, you know, it's not like this is, you know, a complete farce. But, no, I like this book. I think it's a solid book. I do want to read more of the Strugatskys in the future. Hard to Be a God is certainly a book I'd like to try from them. This is actually my first Russian science fiction story that I've read. I know there's a couple out there who are very well liked. Stanislaw Lem, I know, for one, though I don't think he's Russian. Strugatsky's, I know Hard to Be a God is really well liked. Let's see, who else? I'm sure there are more. I just don't know a lot of them. I'll put it that way. But yeah, Roadside Picnic is a very strong book. I do not regret reading it. I do have problems with it, though. I gave it like a 3.5 if I still did 5 stars. If I still did 5 stars, if I still did a star rating, I would give this a 3.5 out of 5 stars, because this book was solid, but it didn't blow me away. Maybe it's because the novelty of the idea is kind of worn off over time. I don't know, but in all honesty, if you want to read a better version of this, I would recommend the Southern Reach trilogy from Jeff Vandermeer. Fantastic series. The third one is a bit weird, like really weird, but it's not, you know, it doesn't break from the narrative. That's actually a series I'd love to cover one day. But anyway, back to what I thought of the movie. Stalker is amazing, and this book is just pretty good. So that's really what I think. I know it's kind of an odd take. There might be a hot take for some. I have a friend named Natalia on Goodreads who loves this book, and then she saw the movie, and she was just kind of meh on it, which I'm like, what the fuck? But I was weird because I saw the film first, and then I read the book. I don't know if I would have reacted differently if I read the book first and then saw the movie, but I don't know. I just think the movie's a lot more interesting in its subject matter. And again, I don't want to go too long on this because Stalker, that requires its own video, and that is one I would like to do at some point. Maybe like a discussion-like video like I did with Jason. But yeah, Roadside Picnic was a pretty good book. Very, I wouldn't say it's fun, but it's certainly not a bad book, and I enjoyed it. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. That's really all I have to say for today. If you want, like, subscribe, leave a comment. I love hearing feedback. If you want to talk to me, want to contact me, I'm on Twitter as SomeOkiDude, Letterboxd, Goodreads. You can go read my reviews if you want, which are probably a lot more coherent than this one. And if you want to talk to me on Discord, join my Discord. Please. I would love to talk to you guys. I hope that doesn't sound too needy. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will see you guys later.